You know, Ryan, what was that? A couple years ago, a movie came out that I didn't want to see.
Mm-hmm.
The Hitman's Bodyguard, because I just thought it was going to be silly. And then they made a sequel, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. So I felt compelled to go and watch the first movie, which I enjoyed more than I thought I was going to. That being said, it is exactly what you think it is. And then the second one is more of that. Did you see the first one first?
Yeah, I did. So but I didn't revisit it. So I'm a little interested to hear what you have to say, because to me, yes, I think is exactly what it felt like, in the sense of more of the same joke, more of the same shtick, more of, I mean,
yes,
it almost felt like, oh wait, I did see this movie already. Oh wait, that's because it was the first film. To me, it felt like they took everything from the first one, and they learned that Selma Hayek's character was one that audiences wanted more of.
Thank you.
And that is exactly what so we got the same movie again, only this time more her.
Right.
And the whole thing about her character is just that she's this vulgar, violent, sociopathic, crazy, whatever.
Right.
I don't remember if in the first film she was so obsessed about becoming a mother. But that's like the running gag throughout this entire film, is how she really is unfit to be anything, and yet they have to tell her she'll be a good mother, otherwise she'll go crazy on them.
Right.
And
yeah.
And that's it. That's the movie.
And let's just go back and discuss. So Ryan Reynolds is a AAA rated executive bodyguard, who loses a client and then loses his career in the first one.
And his identity
as a AAA rated executive protection agent. Is it fair to say, based on what you remember and how he rolls into the second movie, that his credo of boring is better as a bodyguard, where nothing is spectacular, everything is low key, ultra low key, it's like it's the antithesis of Deadpool, and yet still 100% Deadpool.
Yeah. Yes. It would be the ideology doesn't exactly match up with the what actually happens, or what he actually does.
Right.
So it's Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds again,
which is just him being Deadpool. Okay, but yes. So in the first one, he's protecting Samuel L. Jackson's hitman, Darius Kincaid, and we have some kind of brushes up against Samuel L. Jackson's wife, Salma Hayek. And you are correct. I actually wrote, I don't have them in front of me, but in my notes before the film started the other night, I wrote, please let this be Salma Hayek's movie. And it is. They could have just called this The Hitman's Wife.
Yeah.
And I'd have been totally okay with that, because they gave us enough of her in the first film. I was like, this needs to be no shit Salma Hayek's movie. And it really is, even more than it is Ryan Reynolds' movie.
No, absolutely.
And I say that in the best possible way. Yes, she is a terrible, terrible human being in this movie. She is a horrible, but she's actually also incredibly loving and caring and thoughtful. But she's a completely violent psychopath at the same time, because she genuinely loves her husband, and she really feels bad for Ryan Reynolds' character, Michael Bryce, and it's just this really weird mix of character, and then the uber violence is so cartoonish is the word I used. It's like John Wick levels of violence without the gritty realism of the John Wick levels of violence.
Well, or the artistry too. I mean, it's pretty simplistic. Just they, shoot them in the head, sort of thing.
But there's a couple of like close up, hand to hand type situations that are actually really well done, but they still don't feel like John Wick. No. It's just like, how far can we go just to go that far? Whereas John Wick, it's, how far can they go, because that's how far John Wick and the people that are trying to kill him are trying to go. Sure, so I understand that it's really, that might not make sense, but if you watch it and then like compare the two, you might understand what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, that's because in this film they're sneaking in someone grabbing her breasts, or they're sneaking in.
Well,
there's like a little, like there's a gimmick in there. Everything is tied to a joke.
Yeah, so. And nothing in John Wick is funny, which is okay because that's the John Wick way. But as an action, if you just look at the action, there's a lot of it. There is more than the first one. And it is, again, it's cartoonishly over the top, but in terms of these characters, I think that's okay. I don't know how you feel about just such gratuitous violence, because it is completely gratuitous. All of the violence is gratuitous. You pray for boring is better, and you get, why not more? So it's like I said. So I don't know where you fall on the gratuitous action scale.
Yeah, I mean, my general feeling was that I don't know that it was not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it was kind of the best movie that they could make for people who wanted that second film.
Right.
I didn't really. I mean, I felt like the first film was unnecessary. I feel like this one's unnecessary. But I mean, if you're, I guess, yeah, if you enjoyed the first film, I think the second film gives you everything that you could possibly want from it. So,
but more.
Well, yeah, but more. I mean, it's more. One of those times where they looked at the first one and said, "How did this work?" And why was what was the original formula? And they just took the original formula and said, okay, well, but what audiences responded to was Salma. So yes. Why don't we just build something around Salma, let her do her thing, and that's what it is, And reviews for this have been horrendous, and I don't know that that's quite fair.
Well, this movie is not made for critics.
No, in this movie,
notwithstanding what we do, this movie is not made for critics.
No, it's made for people who just want some. I mean, it's big, it's dumb, and depending on your sense of humor, it might be fun as well.
Right.
But it's
But I mean, to be fair, it is trying to be, I'm not going to say it's trying to be dumb. It's not trying to be smart.
No.
I won't say it's trying to be dumb. It's just not trying to be smart.
Yeah, it's what horrific thing can we get Salma Hayek to say?
I swear to God, half that's not in the script. 80% of that's not in the script.
Who knows? But it's just, yeah. I mean, it's pretty vulgar, and I don't know. I mean, I feel more indifferent to it than anything, just in the sense that I knew it wasn't a movie that I wasn't going to be, based on the first one, it wasn't a movie I was really going to be into,
right?
To begin with, and it was kind of exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah, it is. It is nothing more than you would expect having watched the first one. But if you're in the mood for it, it's it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, I don't think it wasn't a bad experience. I mean, sometimes seeing a movie that you're not really interested in can be a bad experience. And this was just
true.
more of a, okay, all right, yeah.
Yep. It might win. I don't know if MTV still gives movie awards. It might have best explosion in it, or something like that. I don't know that I needed to experience what Ryan Reynolds experienced while he was in the trunk of the car.
Yeah, well,
I don't know that I needed that. I won't ruin that for anybody that's listening. You might not need that either, but you're going to get it. But no, it is. It's just a big action spectacle movie that's designed to let these three characters run around and blow stuff up and shoot a lot of guns and whatnot. That and is really all it is. But that's all it's trying to be. So in that regard, it's a pretty successful movie. It is literally trying to be. This is probably this might get me in trouble. This is almost a better sequel than Deadpool 2 was for Deadpool. Not as a sequel to Deadpool, but as a sequel to the preceding film. And using Ryan Reynolds as the benchmark. This might be a better sequel than Deadpool 2 was for Deadpool.
I think you're giving it far more thought than I am.
Just trying to establish a benchmark. I'm saying maybe. Because I was disappointed with Deadpool 2. Had some good stuff, but I think it strayed from the first film, whereas this one embraced the first film and didn't really stray from that. So I think in that regard it's probably better. But is it a better film? I don't know. But yeah, no. So it's a kind of fun way to go check out for 2 hours in a theater. If you want to get back in a theater next week. I think it's next week. Oh my God, it is next week.
Yes, it is.
It is. It is next week, the 16th, I believe. Thursday. Yeah, so it's I won't tell people to avoid it. But yeah, it's not a smart film. It's not trying to be anything more than it is. So yeah, if you've seen the first one, you're going to get more. So if that's what you want, this movie delivers in that regard. So that's pretty much it for the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. It's really tough to put those words together. They don't really flow. It's not a great title. Yeah, so we've got more movies coming out soon, including we reviewed. Yeah, they come out. In the Heights actually releases tomorrow. We're also going to talk about the new Disney Plus series Loki soon. So listen for that. And we've got a couple more coming, and we will get to those as well. So until then, stay safe, take it easy. Don't forget to like us, follow us on social media at VS Movie Podcast. Subscribe, all that good stuff. And until then, I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
See you guys.
And we'll talk to y'all later.